Going on? It's me again. So excited to be here with you. I've been talking a lot lately, but it's because the holidays are coming up. Christmas is right around the corner, and I just got a lot of stuff I just want to share with you guys. Now, I share this stuff for two reasons, really. Number one is because I'm excited about it. Number one, I'm excited about what I want to share, and then number two, I hope that someone learns something from this. I'm looking to help. A lot of times I've been doing stuff and I've come to find out that if you just Google YouTube or look for something, you can get some answers. And a lot of times that stuff has helped me. So I want to give back to the thing that gave to me, which is YouTube, the internet. It's helped me grow tremendously. There's some things I would have never known or never even found out about if it wasn't for people who take the time to create video content. A couple of the guys, Seth Godin. There's another guy. He always does the top 10 success things. I think his name is Evan. Evan does a great job with that. And these guys have inspired me. So I try to do the same thing, is just to share the knowledge, like at the end of the day. So the knowledge I want to share with you today is from a book I read. And it really, really helped me because one of the things about life, when you become successful, sometimes when you become successful, um, you get some bad habits. Successful people do have bad habits, believe it or not. And I'm working on these, okay? These are ongoing. Like, I have not mastered these at all. I'm going to read them off to you because I promise you, if you really, really be humble and admit to yourself, you're probably a successful person who needs to work on one of these things. All right. The 20 bad habits of people who are successful. All right. Number one, winning too much. The need to win at all cost and in all situations. You know what I'm talking about. Like just wanting to be the best so much that you want to win. Sometimes you take it from your team. Your team, they're growing. They're not as good as you yet, right? And that's okay, but they're going to be better than you one day. But don't take away their victories. Sometimes you need to celebrate that. Sometimes you need to lose. Absolutely. Sometimes you need to lose for the bigger picture. Number two, adding too much value. Okay, the overwhelming desire to add our 2 cents to every discussion, right? So someone comes up with something, they've been up all night and they got this great idea, right? And they bring it to you, and it is a great idea. But guess what? Some successful people do, and it's a bad habit. They throw their 2 cents. They try to improve upon it instead of letting that person have that moment. Sometimes it's really important to get good at this because people don't care how much you know. They care how much you care, right? People remember the person who made them feel special, not the one who knew a lot. And some successful people don't know that. Number three, passing judgment. The need to rate others and impose our standards on them. This is a tough one because let me tell you something. There are 59 million ways to do anything. There isn't just one way to do anything, even if it's your standard. And your standard doesn't mean it's the best. All right? It really doesn't. So sometimes successful people have these standards and they go, well, you're not doing it like me, so you're wrong. Instead of, realizing that it's not or, sometimes it's and, right? It's not this or that. Sometimes it's this and that. That's what makes for great successful people. Another one is making destructive comments, the needless sarcasm and cutting remarks that we think make us witty. You know what we're talking about, right? Like stuff like what I'm about to say. You know already. You should already know this, right? That's not necessary. Those are things that don't help. Those are bad, bad habits, okay? So keep the comments to yourself. Don't get a laugh based on this or that, okay? Another thing, I'm trying to be still. I'm reading. Another thing, telling the world how smart we are, right? The need to show people we're smarter than they think we are. Looking for an opportunity to show what you know. Let me tell you something. You don't have to know anything, right? If you know it, you know it. Trust me. Don't show out. Sometimes it's okay, right? There are a lot of successful people in the world who know more than the person they work for, but they play their role very well. And when the time comes and it's needed, people ask for it anyway. Another thing, starting with the word no, but, however. The overuse of these negative qualifiers, which secretly say to everyone that I'm right and you're wrong. All right, so eliminate words like that. No, but, and however, because it's like you want to like come up with something more than what was brought to the table already. I am sure enough moving around here today. Okay, now telling the world how smart we are. We already mentioned that. Speaking when angry. All right, using emotional uh, management. You know what I mean? Like when you get mad, you fill in the blanks. You finish the stories. So and so hates me. So and so's talking about me. Those kinds of things are not necessary. Like don't fill in the blanks. Don't be angry. Don't get upset over nothing. It's not worth it. All right. Negativity, or let me explain why that won't work. Right. The need to share our negative thoughts even when we aren't asked, like, right? So sharing negative thoughts is like bringing up a perspective of what won't work and why it won't, or the reason this isn't going to work out, this, that, and the other. Like, be positive, like find a way. Like, don't say I can't, say how can I. Another thing is withholding information. This is really serious because the refusal to share information in order to maintain an advantage over others, it's not going to get you there. Like, successful people love to give gifts. They love to give away stuff. They love to share knowledge. Like, I'm not charging you for this information, like, right? It's a gift to you. It's something that I hope helps you. Like, when you learn this, share this. Like, let people know, like, send them to the video. Like, hey, check this video out. It helped me. It's just something I use. Don't keep it to yourself so you can have an advantage over people in the business world, in your office, and that kind of stuff. Help other people succeed just like you. Give the gift. It's a gift. Don't expect anything in return. You don't need anything. Give. All right. Next thing, failing to give proper recognition. This one is, woo, boy. It's the inability to give praise and reward. Like, sometimes successful people can always correct because we know the information. So we'll tell somebody, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, get that, fix that. No, sometimes you got to praise people anyway. Hey, I love your progress. I see the growth. Great job. All right. Shout out to you. You taught me this. It's okay to praise people. Like, successful people who are really successful, they make you feel better when they finish talking to you, right? All right. Claiming credit that we don't deserve. The most annoying way to overestimate our contribution to any success, right? Somebody comes up with something amazing and you take credit for it. Like, no. If a person helped you with it, I don't care if they gave you 2% of it. Give credit where credit's due. Matter of fact, it's okay to say they helped you or that the inspiration came from them. Like, come on now. You don't have to win all the time. Remember? Making excuses. This is a tough one. The need to reposition our annoying behavior as a permanent fixture so people excuse us for it, right? Just make an excuse. I'm not this. This is how I am. I'm unique. It's just the way I am. Like, that's an excuse. You don't have to be that way. Do something about it. Change. Like, become better than that. All right? Or at least let people know you're working on it. All right. Clinging to the past, the need to deflect blame away from ourselves and onto events and people from our past, a subset of blaming everyone else. Like, I came from this place, my mom didn't know this. I mean, just blaming the past. Even when you had success in the past, none of that stuff matters. What are you doing right now? Janet Jackson said, "What have you done for me lately?" Ooh, ooh. Okay, I can't sing. But anyway, playing favorites, failing to see that we are treating someone unfairly. Like, there's some people you're just not going to click with because they just, that meta programming, they see the world different than you. And that's just what that is. Like, but at the end of the day, don't treat them bad because of it. Still treat them special. Still be nice to them. Be fair to everybody. Don't be that person who, because someone doesn't have a standard like you mistreat them. It's not going to help you. All right, next thing. Refusing to express regret. All right. The inability to take responsibility for our actions, admit we're wrong, or recognize how our actions affect others. Like, let me just tell you something. Be quick to apologize. Be fast to say you made a mistake. Like, you don't have to win. All right. And a lot of times we look for other reasons to justify when we won't say we're sorry. will say, well, the other person, well, so and so, remember that day? Like, that stuff is not going to help you. Okay. Get away from that. Number 16, not listening. The most passive aggressive form of disrespect to anybody. Like, you can't even help a person that you're not listening to. And listening means, like, stop and listen, receive what they say, get a perspective on it, and then react to that, right? That's important. Like, listen. Because a lot of times people get mad at people that they didn't even listen to. It's kind of crazy. All right. 17, failing to express gratitude. That's just pure, that's the way you ought to be. Be thankful for all the good things that happen in your life, right? Be thankful, be grateful. People don't have to do anything for you. People don't have to be nice to you. Be thankful, thankful. Be thankful in all things, okay? I'm thankful to God just for waking me up this morning. 18, I'm sorry. See, made a mistake. Punishing the messenger. The misguided need to attack the innocent who are usually only trying to help us. Let me tell you something. When somebody's trying to give you some information to change your life, why would you defend it? All right. Just accept it. It's a little bit of truth in it. Take it for what it's worth and work on it. It's gonna help you. It helps us all. The next one is passing the buck. The need to blame everyone but ourselves, right? Not taking responsibility, right? A lot of times people point the fingers at themselves for success, but they point at other people when something goes wrong. Take all responsibility for success and for failures. It's your fault, period. Whether it's a good or bad thing, it's your fault, period. Accept that, live by that, because it's going to make you better than everybody else in a lot of ways, all right? And the last, an excessive need to be me, exalting our faults as virtues simply because they're who we are. Oh, wow. I'm going to end on that note. You have some faults, and they've been with you all your life. But let me just say something. It's still no reason to use that to get by. I'm going to say it again. Change. Work on it. Get better. These are the 20 things that successful people do that are really bad habits. So if you're a success and you're trying to get to the next level, work on these things. I'm sure one of them is you. A lot of them are me. I'm working on it though. And I close on this. Steve Harvey made a mistake, right? At the Miss Universe pageant, but he immediately took responsibility for it. And I'm going to tell you something. That's leadership. That's leadership. Take it easy.